What if the most terrifying prophecy of the Old Testament, a vision of four monstrous beasts rising from a chaotic sea, was not just a prediction of ancient empires, but a precise map of a spiritual war raging to this very day? A war in which an African kingdom, armed with the Ark of the Covenant, stands as the final bastion against the beasts of the apocalypse? This is not a fringe theory. In the highlands of Ethiopia, the Book of Daniel is not a closed historical relic. It is an open scroll, and its interpretation, preserved in the Kebra Nagast and the teachings of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, reveals a unique and stunning narrative of divine judgment and the ultimate triumph of Zion. While the West decodes the beasts as fallen empires, Ethiopia reads them as a continuing assault on God's people, with one nation chosen to withstand them all. But before continuing, please subscribe to my channel. It is a big deal to me, but a matter of a single click to you. The stage for this divine revelation is the river Ulai, where the prophet Daniel, in exile, receives a vision that would echo through millennia. It is a time of profound disruption. The temple in Jerusalem is destroyed, and God's people are in captivity. Into this despair, God unveils a cosmic drama. Daniel sees the great sea, churned by the four winds of heaven, a biblical symbol for the nations in turmoil and the spiritual forces that move them. From this chaos, four distinct, hybrid beasts emerge, each more terrifying and unnatural than the last. This is not a political forecast, but a theological one. It reveals that the rise and fall of empires are not random events, but manifestations of a spiritual rebellion against the sovereignty of the one true God. The first three beasts are identified with stunning accuracy by most biblical scholars. The first, a lion with eagle's wings, represents the Babylonian Empire, majestic yet brutal, symbolized by the Lion of Babylon and the speed of its conquests. The second, a lopsided bear with three ribs in its mouth, is the Medo-Persian Empire, crushing and assimilating kingdoms like Lydia, Babylon, and Egypt. The third, a leopard with four wings and four heads, is the lightning-fast empire of Alexander the Great, whose domain was divided among his four generals after his death. The Ethiopian tradition fully agrees with this historical foundation, but sees it as merely the opening act of a much longer, ongoing conflict. Then comes the fourth beast, terrifying and dreadful and exceedingly strong. It is unlike the others, so alien Daniel has no animal to compare it to. It has great iron teeth, devouring and crushing everything, and it has 10 horns. This is the Roman Empire, the Iron Kingdom of Nebuchadnezzar's dream made manifest. Its power is absolute, its methods are crushing, and its legacy is long. But the vision intensifies. As Daniel watches, a little horn emerges, uprooting three others. This horn has eyes like a man and a mouth that spoke great things. This is the critical figure, the Antichrist spirit that arises from within the beast itself, a figure of blasphemy and persecution that becomes the central antagonist in the Ethiopian apocalyptic narrative. But before continuing, please subscribe to my channel. It is a big deal to me, but a matter of a single click to you. Just as the terror of the fourth beast reaches its peak, the scene shifts dramatically from earth to heaven. Thrones are set in place, and the Ancient of Days, a figure of blinding, fiery purity, takes his seat. Thousands upon thousands minister to him. This is the divine court, the ultimate tribunal before which the beasts are summoned for judgment. For Western traditions, this scene is often seen as a future, end-times event, the final judgment at the end of history. The court is convened to condemn the final manifestation of the beast and the Antichrist, delivering the saints at the culmination of their long suffering. Then, the most critical figure arrives, one like a son of man, coming with the clouds of heaven. He is presented before the Ancient of Days and is given authority, glory, and sovereign power. All nations and peoples of every language worshipped him. In Catholic and Protestant eschatology, this Son of Man is universally and correctly identified as Jesus Christ. His reception of the kingdom is seen as a future event, fully realized at his second coming. The saints' possession of the kingdom is also future, a reward granted after the final defeat of the Antichrist and the resurrection of the dead. Here, the Ethiopian interpretation diverges profoundly. The Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, drawing from the Kebra Nagast, agrees that the Son of Man is Christ. However, it teaches that the event of him receiving the everlasting kingdom occurred in the past, not the future. This moment, for Ethiopia, is mystically and historically fulfilled when the Ark of the Covenant, the very throne of God's presence, was brought to Ethiopia by Menelik I, son of Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. The kingdom was thus transferred from Jerusalem to Zion, to its new home in Aksum. Therefore, the saints of the Most High, who receive the kingdom, are the Ethiopian people and their Solomonic dynasty, who have been the guardians of God's earthly throne for millennia, already living in the reality of the prophesied kingdom. But, before continuing, please subscribe to my channel. It is a big deal to me, but a matter of a single click to you. In Western eschatology, the little horn of Daniel is almost universally projected into the future as a single, end-times political and religious tyrant, the Antichrist. Protestant interpretations, especially in dispensationalism, see him as a charismatic global leader who will arise from a revived Roman Empire, make a 7-year covenant with Israel, and then break it, launching the Great Tribulation. Catholic commentary has historically identified the horn with specific persecuting Roman emperors like Nero, but also sees a final, ultimate fulfillment in a future figure of supreme evil. The focus is on a singular, future person who embodies blasphemy and persecution before being destroyed by Christ's return. The Ethiopian Orthodox interpretation offers a profound and broader perspective. While acknowledging historical persecutors, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church sees the little horn not merely as a single future man, but as the enduring spirit of Antichrist, a continuous line of persecution against the true people of God, who are the guardians of the Arkansas. This spirit has manifested through various powers that have sought to destroy the faith of Zion, from the Roman Empire to the Crusaders, and later colonial powers who threaten the sovereignty of the Christian Ethiopian kingdom. The little horn is any power, political or religious, that speaks boastfully against the true God and wages war against the saints, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church. This leads to a fundamental difference in understanding the prophecy of the horn, waging war against the saints and defeating them. For many Western readers, this is a prophecy of a future, short-term, and ultimate persecution. For Ethiopia, this is a description of their entire history. The defeat is not a final eradication of faith, but the chronicle of their suffering and endurance, the countless battles, famines, and invasions they have survived by God's grace. The prophecy is not a threat of a future event to fear, but a divine explanation for their past and present struggles. They are the saints who have been at war with the little horn for centuries, and their very survival is a testament to the ultimate failure of the beast. But, before continuing, please subscribe to my channel. It is a big deal to me, but a matter of a single click to you. What is the fate of the 4 beasts after their initial empires fell? In Western thought, their spirit is often seen as culminating in a single end-times coalition. However, the Ethiopian view perceives their legacy as diffused but active in the modern world. The spirit of Babylon, confusion, and idolatry lives on in global systems that defy God's order. Persia's spirit of assimilation is seen in cultural and religious syncretism. Greece's legacy of humanistic philosophy challenges divine revelation. And the crushing, legalistic power of Rome is seen in both imperial and certain rigid religious structures. For Ethiopia, these are not dead empires, but active spiritual forces that continue to oppose the true Zion. While the beasts morph and persist, the prophecy's climax is not their power, but the triumph of God's people. Daniel 7 verse 18 and 27 declare that the saints of the Most High will receive the kingdom and will possess it forever. The Western interpretation applies this universally to the global, spiritual church at the end of time. The Ethiopian interpretation, however, reads this as a specific, historical, and ongoing reality. The saints are the faithful Ethiopian people, and the kingdom they received is the Solomonic dynasty and the divine mandate to protect the Arkansas. Their continuous sovereignty until the fall of the monarchy in 1974 and their enduring faith are seen as the literal fulfillment of this prophecy, an unbroken line of possession that stands as a living witness against the beasts. The final verse of the chapter seals this interpretation for Ethiopia. Then the sovereignty, power, and greatness of all the kingdoms under heaven will be handed over to the holy people of the Most High. His kingdom will be an everlasting kingdom, and all rulers will worship and obey him. For the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, this is not a distant hope, but a present spiritual reality centered in Aksum. The earthly kingdoms, the beasts, have no ultimate authority over the destiny of God's holy people. The true sovereignty resides with Christ, whose throne is mystically present in the ark, and by extension, with the people who guard it. This belief transforms their historical struggles from a story of victimhood into a divine drama of protection and fulfillment. But before continuing, please subscribe to my channel. It is a big deal to me, but a matter of a single click to you. The Ethiopian interpretation of Daniel's beasts is more than an eschatological theory. It is the very lens through which the nation understands its own history and destiny. This view frames their story not as a series of random historical events, but as a continuous fulfillment of prophecy, a nation chosen to be the guardian of God's covenant in a world perpetually assailed by beastly empires. This belief has provided an unshakable sense of divine purpose through centuries of isolation, warfare, and famine. It is a narrative of divine providence that has forged an unparalleled national resilience, teaching that their survival itself is a miracle and a testament to the truth of their unique calling. This unique hermeneutic poses a profound challenge to the wider Christian world. It asks, have Western interpretations, by focusing solely on a future, globalized fulfillment, inadvertently erased the specific, historical witness of the African continent from the biblical narrative? The Ethiopian reading reclaims the Bible as a text that speaks directly to and about Africa, not just as a mission field, but as a central actor in the divine drama. It challenges other traditions to re-examine their own interpretive frameworks and to consider the possibility that God's covenant promises have had a tangible, geographical, and cultural home for 3 millennia. Ultimately, both traditions converge on the same glorious finale, the final and absolute victory of God. The Ethiopian narrative, with its long history of resisting the beasts, adds a deep, historical weight to this hope. They have not merely waited for the victory. They have lived through countless preliminary battles, assured of the ultimate outcome. The prophecy concludes with the beast being slain and its body destroyed in fire. For Ethiopia, this is the final divine vindication of their long struggle, the moment when the spiritual war they have fought for millennia is publicly and conclusively won by their God, and the kingdom they have guarded is revealed as the everlasting kingdom of the Most High. From the banks of the river Ulai to the highlands of Ethiopia, we have traced a terrifying vision of beasts and a glorious promise of a kingdom. We've seen how the West projects this drama into a future climax, while Ethiopia reads it as the story of its past and present, a nation chosen to guard Zion against the relentless spirit of the Antichrist. This is more than an interpretive difference. It is a claim that an African kingdom sits at the very center of biblical prophecy. So, we are left with a question that challenges conventional scripture reading. Does the book of Daniel not only predict the rise and fall of empires, but also point to a specific people who have already received the everlasting kingdom? The Ethiopian Orthodox Church, with the Ark of the Covenant as its divine witness, answers with a resounding and ancient yes. What does this mean for your understanding of the Bible? If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, share, and like to encourage me produce further similar videos.